Hello my Wolfpack and welcome to a brand new team builder video. So today we are going to be talking about the New York Napoleons because we are versing them in week 2 of the TBL Season 6, as you can probably tell by the title. Now, this is a very terrifying team, a terrifying team, yeah. This is a scary team. So we are up against a Tornadus T, which was something that I was actually potentially considering before the draft, but then I decided to go Dragonite. Not that it would have made it to me anyways, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm just going to change up my lighting slightly. Okay, that makes me look less pale, but yeah. So, Tornadus T, Blacephalon, which is just such a terrifying mon. Honestly, if that thing's choice scarfed, we are kind of screwed. Well, we're not screwed. I've got some plans, but that thing's choice scarf that could easily wreck through my team quite quickly if I don't kind of deal with it if I don't deal with it essentially. Rotom Mow obviously has to kind of come for this team. I'll explain that in a little bit. Hitmonlee, I could definitely see Hitmonlee coming, maybe an Unburdened set. I've got obviously multiple knockoff users on my team, so 3 of my Pokemon could be holding knockoff this week. And I think I probably have more Pokemon in my roster that can still learn knockoff as well. I know a Lowland Persian can, for example. Yeah, Hitmonlee could be scary if it's scarfed or if it's unburdened. If it's unburdened, I do kind of have some issues with it. Steelix, again, not the scariest Pokemon. I have got counters for this thing. Kangaskhan, again, could be a problem if I don't deal with it quickly. Zero Aura is very, very fast and obviously very strong, so that's something that I have to be terrified of. Primarina, I think, actually might be the worst Pokemon to battle up against my team. A Water Fairy type Pokemon just kind of messes with my team quite a bit. Obviously, I have a couple of counters, but it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to deal with the Primarina with this team. Honestly, it's just not easy. And if it's like choice specs or something, that could be dangerous. Druddigon, again, could be a Pokemon that has to come. It can come either in the form of the rough skin, or it could come in a mold breaker form. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute. And Liepard, I don't think is too scary, but it is fast, and it can possibly, I think it can bat and pass a nasty plot. So that's something I need to check before the battle. The battle's in literally an hour. So by the time I've recorded this, I will need to set up ready for the battle, but I need to double check that Liepard can learn Nasty Plot. I know it can learn Nasty Plot, but I'm not sure about Bat and Pass. I'm pretty sure it can learn Bat and Pass, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. So, my team for this week. Now, this is an interesting team. Last week, obviously, I prepped way too much for the Urshifu. If you haven't checked out the match, go check out the match. Spoilers. If you've not checked it out, you can go check it out. Pause the video now because I'm about to spoil it. Obviously, we did lose. We did lose quite badly. Part of it was because I got flustered. That's part of it. The other part of it was I prepped way too much for the Urshifu. I prepped way too much to outspeed the Urshifu and the Noivern, and then he brought Tripgram. And really, I don't know why I did that, because that's never really been my kind of style. It's never really been the kind of thing that I do, I suppose. But this week we're kind of coming back to my roots, so hopefully we're going to have a bit more fun with this. So I've got Excadrill. Excadrill's Choice Scarfed. This is Choice Scarf, so it outspeeds a Scarf Hitmonlee. Basically, Scarf Hitmonlee, it could be a possibility, and as I said, it can start to wreck through my team quite easily if it wants to, essentially. But I have got, obviously, Earthquake, Ironhead to hit it really hard. Mold Breaker is my ability here. Now this means that he can't really switch in anything other than Tornadus into my Earthquakes, because everything else kind of gets nuked by it. And yeah, that's kind of my thought. Unless something's holding like an air balloon, like maybe Steelix air balloon or something, then honestly, it's not anything that's too terrifying, except for the Tornadus here. But I have got Rock Slide there, and basically my idea with Leafeon on this team is to get a Swords Dance set up and bat and pass that Swords Dance onto either Excadrill, Dragonite, or Azelf, or in a worst case scenario, Mienshao. And hopefully in that scenario, we can... I've thought about all the different scenarios that could possibly happen, or as many as I could think of. And most of them do involve the Tornadus T, And if the Tornado T clicks Nasty Plot, I go into Drill, and Drill, basically, it's very difficult for it not to OHKO with Rock Slide. I'll say that much. It's very difficult for it not to OHKO with Rock Slide, and we do outspeed with a Scarf. And if it's clicking Nasty Plot, we outspeed it. If it's not clicking Nasty Plot and it's clicking a move, my Leafeon can survive because I have got Focus Sash, and I have also got I've got full special defense investment, so I can survive that there. Poison Jab is there for the Rotom Mow, just in case I get stuck in that situation where I need to hit that. But other than that, the Poison Jab isn't hugely effective. I mean, it'll hit the Primarina quite nicely if the Primarina wants to switch in. And the Rotom Mow can hit me really hard. The Rotom Mow can hit me super hard here, and I really do think the Rotom Mow kind of has to come, purely because without it, and without Dragon, Rotom Wash is quite free to break through this team. There's not really much that can stop Rotom Wash on his team. It's kind of like the one Pokemon that it doesn't want to deal with. As I said, EVs, we're outspeeding the Scarf Hitmonlee. I thought it was too much of a possible threat for me to not do it, essentially. So that was what my decision was with that one. And then maximum attack, just to get as much attack as possible. Obviously, if I get that double in my attack, then that is going to be absolutely huge and hopefully going to do a lot of damage. And yeah, so that's one of the Pokemon that I could Swords Dance, Baton Pass into. And obviously if I don't get the Swords Dance, Baton Pass off, I'm still hitting a lot of Pokemon for probably 50% plus damage, which is absolutely huge. The only downside being Choice Scarf, I'm going to be locked into the move, which could be a problem. But yeah, second Pokemon, I have gone for Dragonite. I've gone for Heavy Duty Boots and Dragonite. I thought the Rocks with Steelix is too much of a threat for me not to run Heavy Duty Boots this week. And I have got Defog and Rotom Wash, but I couldn't risk it, just in case, for example, Rotom Wash goes down for any reason. Multiscale is always going to be the ability, like, no matter what, Multiscale is the ability for Dragonite. But again, running it slightly differently. So I've got Roost to heal myself up, because realistically, healing up is going to be very helpful. We've got Thunder Punch, which is going to hit the things like the Tornadus T. It hits the Primarina, because I am calced to outspeed a timid Primarina. We've got the Thunder Punch also hitting neutral on a lot of different Pokemon as well. Earthquake, nukes the Blacephalon, hits the Hitmonlee hard, hits the Steelix really hard, can hit the Kangaskhan somewhat hard. Super effective on the Zero Aura. I think it OHKOs it. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough developing, and I'm hoping it's not COVID, but yeah, let's hope. Primarina, as I said, Thunder Punch we got for. Dragon, I've got Dragon Claw on here, and then Lipard, again, probably go for the Dragon Claw. So yeah, the idea here is just to click a move. Basically, if I get the Swords Dance Baton Pass into this, then I do kind of have to make sure that I'm conserving as much as I can. I have gone for a reasonable amount of speed, obviously. Adamant Nature, so I'm fast. Not fast, I'm strong, highest attack as possible, and I'm hoping that's going to really hurt a lot of Pokemon in Gold's team, because honestly, Dragonite can deal with a few things. Dragonite can deal with the Blacephalon. The Blacephalon struggles to deal with my Dragonite. The Rotom Mow also really struggles to deal with Dragonite, so I'm not too worried about the Rotom Mow there. I mean, I can only do about 50% it without the +2, but still, we can hit it really hard. And yeah, I think just typically it's going to be okay. I think Zero Aura learns Ice Punch, so I do have to keep an eye out for that. But I'm not sure if the Zero Aura is coming. I'm not 100% sure on that at the moment. But yeah, that is the idea for Dragonite. Sorry, my mind is like all over the place right now because I'm getting into the nerves aspect. It's literally an hour now until the match. So Rotom Wash, as I said, Rotom Wash is a fantastic matchup here. Without the Rotom Mow or the Dragon, Rotom Wash is actually quite free to really break this team. So Tornadus, Blacephalon, Steelix, and Primarina really don't like dealing with the Rotom Wash. Rotom Mow obviously is something that can deal with it. Hitmonlee, again, it's not going to want to take any of these attacks. Steelix, as I said, I'm going to hit that hard. Kangaskhan, yeah, Kangaskhan might be a problem. Okay, I didn't really think about Kangaskhan, but it could be a bit of a problem with this. But at the same time, Kangaskhan's not really going to want to take those hits from the Rotom Wash. And then Druddigon, again, I'm not sure. Oh no, the Druddigon, if it's Mold Breaker, Earthquake, then obviously that's something I'm going to keep a strong eye out for. And then we have Liepard. Liepard, obviously, I'm not sure it can do much to me, if I'm honest, unless it sets up like 2 nasty plots. And I think I've probably got the upper hand on that case. So honestly, Rotom Wash is really destructive here. I've gone for the Expert Belt just for that little bit more damage. I kind of needed that to just get that little bit extra so I could then put some investment into my defense just to make sure I'm not getting nuked too hard by different things. And like it just gave me a little bit more to deal with the Hitmonlee, because the Hitmonlee is a pain in the backside. Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, they're just the 2 stab attacks and they're going to hit hard. I did consider going for Volt Switch, but I thought at the same time Rotom Wash is a really good Pokemon dealing with a lot of these, so I don't really want to have to keep on switching it in and out, especially if rocks get set up. So I thought Thunderbolt works better here. Defog just in case of the rocks, and I do get a turn to get rid of them. And Pain Split. Now, I could expect Rotom to go down quite low, if I'm honest, and Pain Splitting allows me to get that health back, which could definitely be really helpful, which is obviously what I'm going to plan to do if I get low. Max HP, max special attack, modest, with, well no, so 2-1-2 in special attack, as I said, it still kind of kills things. But it just didn't need as much power as it had with the Expert Belt on it. I could have gone for something like Leftovers, but I really wanted to go for that Expert Belt there, and just allowed me to kind of play with things, and I thought it worked a little bit nicer. So, yeah. Then we go on to the Leafeon. Leafeon, as I said, is kind of here just to get that Swords Dance, Baton Pass off, which obviously is potentially going to be pretty huge if I can manage to do it. I've got the Focus Sash on here now. My hope is there's not going to be Hanses on the field when I come in, otherwise the Sash is completely pointless. I think I live in this EV investment. I think I live a Air Slash, a non-stat boosted Air Slash from the Tornadus, and that will allow me to get the Baton Pass off. I don't live from Blacephalon, I know that much. And I live a lot of different attacks from different Pokemon as well. Like Rotom Mode does next to nothing to me with this kind of investment. And yeah, I just thought I'd go for that, but the Focus Sash is there just in case of a worst case scenario. Ability, don't really care about because it doesn't matter. I'm not using it in this team, I suppose. Swords Dance, double attack. I'm going to get out of there with that Baton Pass because realistically, Leafeon isn't here to deal with Pokemon. It's here to pass that out to someone else. But if I do get in a situation where I need to deal with something, so like the Primarina, I can hit Leaf Blade on and hit that really hard. X is to hit the Rotom Mow as well. As I said, I can switch out on the Rotom Mow all day. It can't really do too much to me outside of like a Hyper Voice. But yeah, it's not going to hit me too hard. And the X is again kind of just does a few things to this team. But what I would expect is that Gold would switch his Tornadus in onto this. I don't expect him to switch in Blacephalon. I think Blacephalon would be risky, especially considering Leafeon does get knockoff. So the idea here would be come out, possibly on Primarina, set up a Swords Dance, he switches in the Tornadus, I go for Baton Pass, he hits me with the Air Slash, I live the Air Slash, I Baton Pass out, and go into a different Pokemon, whether that be Azelf, or whether that be Excadrill or Dragonite, and depending on what he does, I go to different ones. So if he's got a nasty plot set up, I go to Excadrill, because I can live a +2 Focus Blast. If he goes for the Air Slash, I probably go for Azelf, and do the shenanigans, which I'm going to explain there in just a second. But as I said, max HP, max special defense, it just allows me to have as much investment, to live different things as well. Mienshao is next. Now Mienshao, this week I'm running a Life Orb Regenerator set. So Life Orb is going to hopefully give me that little bit extra boost that I need, just in power. And that Regenerator is going to hopefully come in handy if I have to switch out. Fake Out, I really want to get the Fake Out kind of going on this thing. Obviously the only thing it doesn't hit is the Blacephalon, but if I can Fake Out any of the other mons and just get some chip damage, except for like the Steelix, everything else is kind of golden. Knockoff is there for the Blacephalon. I do have to be careful in case I activate Hitmonlee's Unburden, because that could be problematic for me, but that knockoff, that knockoff really hits it quite hard. Poison Jab, powerful poison type attack, hits the Rotom Mow, just another thing to cover with that, and then Close Combat can just hit really hard on the majority of his team. As soon as the Tornadus is gone, and possibly the Blacephalon as well, because I'm expecting both of them to come, as soon as they're gone, I think Mian Xiao can possibly come in and just clean up relatively easily. Primarina is a concern, but I have got the Poison Jab on there as well if I need to use it. And obviously, I'm fast, so unless he's trying to pull off some Trick Room strats of his own, I don't know if he is. Why am I disconnected? I have no idea. Why is that disconnected? That is stupid. Right, let's hope. Let's see if my team, because sometimes it just gets rid of my team. There we go. Reconnect. I am connected to the internet. This is technical issues. You've got to love it. Screw it. We're going to work offline. There we go. So, yeah. That's Mian Xiao. I decided to go for max speed, max attack. That allows me to outspeed the Blacephalon by 1. Essentially, that allows me to outspeed the Blacephalon. Assume the Blacephalon's not scarfed. If the Blacephalon's scarfed, it is very, very scary and potentially a problem. And finally, this is the mon that could... the be-all to end-all. It could go really well. It could go really bad. And this is what I would love to get the Leafy on. I don't know what's going on. This is what I would love to get. I'm just going to ignore that for the second. I apologise. My tech is just having a hissy fit at me, apparently. You know, did this at the last battle as well. But, you know, hopefully it will come back at some point. Obviously, if it doesn't, then I'll just finish off the video talking. But, yeah, we have got the Azelf. Azelf is running Trick Room, and it's running minimal speed investment, lowest possible speed investment that it possibly can run. And that is to allow it to, I think the only things that will outspeed it will be the Dragon and the Steelix in the Trick Room. So that's not too much of a problem per se. I've got Zen Headbutt on there. Zen Headbutt is a lot of different Pokemon for just a decent amount of damage. It's things like the Hitmonlee for a lot of damage as well. We've got Drain Punch on there. Drain Punch, 2-hit KOs the Steelix. It hits the Kangaskhan really well. It can hit the Dragon, it's 2-hit KO and allow me to get my health back just in case it is the Rough Skin variant rather than the Mold Breaker variant, although I am definitely expecting the Mold Breaker variant. And what's his last move? Its last move is, let me just double check, because I have got it here. So the last move is Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch just for hitting the Primarina mostly, and also the Tornadus. If I can get a +2, that it completely destroys the Tornadus. Tornadus can't hit me too hard. And I'm running Leftovers. Leftovers basically allows for me to get a little bit of health back at the end of every turn. And if I can do that maybe 2 or 3 times, then things like the Zero Aura are no longer much of an issue for that. I am just going to reopen my showdown because I don't know what just happened. For some reason, I think my internet dropped out for like 2 seconds. And it's me. And yeah, you can see all my prepped guides. They're all prepped, ready to go. TBL week 2. So, as I was talking about, Azelf. Now, should have said, Azelf obviously wasn't in the team beforehand. I did drop Mesprit and pick up Azelf. Azelf, they basically do the same thing. They just gave me a bit more speed in the team, and it gave me a bit more attack power as well. I felt like I was lacking a little bit of attack power there. So, that was kind of the choice with Azelf there, as you probably guessed. Max HP, max attack. Brave Nature, so as I said, I'm zeroing out the speed in this one, and that'll just allow for it to hit things really hard under the Trick Room. Basically, the only thing that is a problem for me is if the Blacephalon comes in before I've got a Trick Room set up, or if it's straight after a Trick Room has been got rid of. Now, if it's straight... So, let's get my thoughts here. So, we have the Leafeon. As I said, he can go into 2 Pokemon. He can go into Blacephalon, he can go into the Tornadus. Now, if he goes into the Blacephalon, I'd probably go out into the Rotom Wash or Dragonite, so they can deal with it, even though I've had that Swords Dance set up. If it's the Tornadus, I live a hit, so I then go out into Excadrill or Azelf or Dragonite based on what it goes for. If it goes for Nasty Plot, then I go for Excadrill. If it goes for anything other than Nasty Plot, like the Air Slash, then it goes to Azelf, and I set up that Trick Room. I live a hit from the Tornadus, I heal myself up every turn, and with that Trick Room, as I said, the only thing that's really going to be potentially a problem is the Steelix, but hopefully by that point it will probably be either gone or low, and not really a problem. And then if I run out of Trick Room turns, realistically at that point, I've probably taken out the majority of his team, so I can then just bring in like Mian Xiao just to clean up at the end, for example. So that's kind of my thought process going on there. Hopefully it will work. Hopefully, I'm not sure. But that's kind of the idea. I have planned out for multiple different scenarios. With this, like Blacephalon Scarfed, it is a problem, but at the same time, Rotom Wash and Dragonite can deal with it relatively okay. Rotom Mow, I have Leafeon and Dragonite that can deal with it relatively well. Excadrill kind of scares it as well. I could possibly go into Azelf, but I'm not really going to do that unless I have to. Hitmonlee, I have counters for. If it's Choice Scarfed, it can be a problem. But again, I have like things like Dragonite and possibly even Leafeon to deal with that as well. And then Mian Xiao does like 40% with Fake Out, so that's going to be okay. Steelix can be a slight problem, but I have got literally 4, 5 Pokemon here that can deal with it, so I'm not too worried about that. Kangaskhan, I've got 1, 2 Pokemon that can deal with it quite easily. Yeah, I suppose it could go for the Earthquake potentially, but I have 3 Pokemon that are immune to Ground type moves, so you know it's not necessarily going to be the worst thing. Zero Aura could be terrifying because its stats are amazing, but it has got a very limited move pool. So things like Leafeon could get hit hard by it, but Excadrill is not going to be hit too badly by it. Mian Xiao can probably deal with it as well a little bit, and same with Azelf. It can, I think, Zen Headbutt +2 completely annihilates it, and I think it can knock off me, and it's just like 70% or something. So it's not something I'm hugely concerned about. Primarina, I'm hugely concerned about. On the other hand, Rotom Wash can kind of deal with it. Excadrill can somewhat deal with it. Obviously, it's super effective against me as well, but if I've got that +2, it should be able to hit hard. Leafeon deals with it, and Azelf can hit hard. Even Mian Xiao, because it's got the speed, I can get that Fake Out, and then Poison Jam, realistically, that takes it out. Jollygon, depending on what variant, it can be scary. And Lipard, I haven't really considered to be much of an option, but I've got Mian Xiao, I've got the Leafeon to potentially deal with it. Rotom should be able to take attacks from it. Dragonite, again, it doesn't really threaten Dragonite too much. Excadrill, I'm not sure there's much you can do to Excadrill. So, yeah, I'm feeling more confident about this battle. But at the same time, Gold is a fantastic battler, so I wouldn't be shocked if he manages to hit me really hard. And I'm hoping for not to get 6-0'd. I'm hoping not to get 6-0'd in the second week in a row, but you know, I wouldn't be shocked, because honestly, Gold is fantastic at battling, so I guess we'll see. But hopefully, it will all go well. Tune into the battle tomorrow, and you will obviously see what happens. I haven't done the battle yet. It's got about 3/4 of an hour, and I'm excited. I'm excited, but I'm also terrified. So yeah. Thank you for watching. What do you think I'm going to win? Do you think I'm going to lose? Let me know down in the comment section below. Tell me about how disgusting Gold's team is and why no one should have let him get those kind of Pokemon. Which, you know, I'm so glad I picked up the Rotom Wash. I know Rotom Wash was on his list potentially to take on round 2, but I took it before him because I was before him in Snake format. But yeah, that is all for today. Please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.